Okay, y'all, so welcome to Dear Tisia podcast. I'm very, 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 very excited to have y'all here. And again, if this is y'all first time joining us, this is really a place where if y'all have followed me, a lot of it is just live relationship and dating advice. And so if you have seen the podcast, we have callers that'll call in, and we also have red flag reports. And so that's just like crazy things that are happening in social media. And how I came across Dear Tisia is that people used to write me in my DMs. They'll be like, "Girl, can you help me out with this?" And so I said, okay, if I ever start my podcast, I would start off with Dear Tisia. And so the callers that call in, they have to start off saying Dear Tisia, and they'll tell me their concern of the day. And so I really have just lended myself to anybody that has relationship issues and things like that. And I think for myself in general, I want to like unbutton the whole like coaching therapy space for people that need help. And I think like having 2 psychology degrees, being in this space, I think that people have professionalized healing so much. And I always say, I'm for the everyday girl. Look, the girls in the projects, the girl with the baby daddies, the girl who just don't know her way, or she hasn't quite figured out life. I want to be somebody that's just more of a media resource and not somebody behind a paywall or a closed door that really has just like over professionalized healing. And so I think that my approach is just like a big sister approach. It's a straight talk approach. And it's really just to me more relatable because that's generally who I am. I feel like one of my biggest compliments is that y'all see me out and you're like, "Girl, you really are girl's girl." I really am, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So what y'all can expect. We usually start off with some voicemails from people who are calling in. They'll start off with Dear Tisia. And then we go into our red flag reports, which is like our hot topics that are going along in the media. And they are trending. And then we'll talk about our take of it. And of course, you can expect just fun, honesty. If y'all want to chime in, y'all can. This is really, a live event. So if y'all want to chime in, y'all can as well. Also, just like some engagement reminders is that please subscribe to my YouTube. It's moving a little too slow for me, y'all. Please subscribe to my YouTube. It's under Tisia XVS. You can also follow us on Apple Music and Spotify, and make sure to hit follow so that you can get the new notifications and the downloads that we'll have every Monday. We drop a new episode every Monday. Any questions before we get started? Okay, perfect. So if you all been watching, we have guests on the show, but we have a peanut gallery, as I call them. I have to come up with like a cute name, like they have like the Beehive and the Rihanna's Navy. I got to come up with something real cute for whom my guests are going to be. But right now it's called the Peanut Gallery, okay? And so we have my good friend, Dr. Nicole, who is here, who is a therapist, and she's like my right hand if something is really going down in my life. So she's also a girl's girl. We love to kiki. So you're going to get a little clinical, a little kiki from my good sis, Nicole. So can we welcome her on up? Yeah, right. So you want to give an intro? You want to say anything about who you are and what you do?
So I am Dr. Nicole, and as she said, I like to kiki. Yes, I am a professional. However, I teach people to be their true, authentic self. Some people will probably say, "Girl, you're not just like a doctor," but I am one. Because I am my true, authentic self, and that's what we are here to do, is teach everyone to be their true, authentic self. So Tisia is my girl. Definitely a girl's girl. It's just not for the limelights or things like that. I love to see you. Probably think we've known each other for several years, but when you're a girl's girl, you will really connect, not just aesthetically, but mind, body, soul.
Yes. Thank you, Nicole, for joining me. Also, side note, I called Nicole off a whim because some other people had dropped out. So thank you. Like I owe her dinner after this. Okay, so we're going to get into our first Dear Tisia voicemail, and it's titled, "How Long is Too Long to Wait?" Let's hear it.
Dear Tisia, how long is too long to stay with a boyfriend when they're experiencing a challenging time in their life? I have been with my partner for going on 3 years in February, and he has lost his job for the second time during the course of our relationship. He has been unemployed for 4 months now, and on top of that, he lost his dad earlier this year. I have been empathizing with him and been there to the best of my abilities with him physically and emotionally while also dealing with my own stuff. And now I'm kind of at the point where it's like, okay, how long is too long? He has been looking for jobs during this time, but he's getting really discouraged, and his woe is me attitude is just kind of like draining. It's exhausting, and I am doing my best to speak life into him, but it's just like, well, I'm feeling like a broken record, you know? You gotta be able to speak life into yourself. I can't do that for you all the time. On top of that, I moved out of his apartment. I moved out because I had seen some messages between him and his mom was saying some foul things about me that were just unnecessary. During the course of him being unemployed, his mom has pretty much been supporting him as she should, but I feel like it's a lot. But how long is too long? I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you.
I think maybe I missed it. How long is too long to wait with him during the downtime or wait for that ring? Because she said she's been a girlfriend for 3 years. So what we what are we talking about? That's just number one. Also, I feel like how timely is this? Because baby, the government said not today. So everybody woke up and was like, yeah, we don't know if we got a job right now. We furloughed. And so I think this is also very timely that this man seems to be he's out of work for 4 months and he's looking. But that's his second time. You could talk fast, but I heard what you said. That's his second time losing that job.
But his dad died. His dad also died.
His dad passed away. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you want to know what stuck out to me? Mama don't like her. Girl, go on, go.
I feel like when someone is already worn down by things, everything else seems bigger than what it is. If that nigga had a job and he was okay, maybe the mama not liking you wouldn't have been that big of a thing. But I feel like she's already been bogged down by it. She moved out the house. She said she's been kind of carrying the weight financially. So now that mama gonna take you over the top. The mama thing gonna take you over the top because you already kind of, you know, in a bad place. I also think there's a theme to address about the men being out of work, you know, and I've seen it go either way where like the man loses his job and the girl holds him down and he gets, you know, back into it. And I think that is something that we should consider, especially when you're in a girlfriend mode, because what I do see is that women like getting out of steam so quickly because you're doing all of these extravagant, wifey, big, long-term relationship things with someone. And then you look up and it's like, wow, I did all of this and I'm still your girlfriend. Like, I feel like there is somewhat like a limit to what you should have to endure with somebody in the boyfriend dating stage.
So I'm with you right there. And I find that a lot of women, we tend to be our own problems. I know y'all not going to want to hear that, but I'm here to tell y'all the truth. We tend to be our own problem. And she's a girlfriend. She should have set those boundaries of what she's willing to do as a girlfriend. Because if you're doing all those things now, then I don't need to put a ring on your finger. I'm getting it without even being committed to you.
But I do think that I always say when y'all be like, I don't cook and clean for my man, I gotta be wife, I shut up because I be cooking and cleaning for my man. That's just me. I shut up because I do feel like you got to give them a little glimpse. You know, they got to have a little preview of what, and I think the support is really big because they really do want to see if you're going to hold them down. You know, even anybody knows Dre, he produces our podcast and he talks a lot about how, you know, when he first got married, they were in a small little apartment, a little studio, and, you know, and now he's been able to retire his wife and put her out of business. So I do think you got to give a little.
So you do. There's a difference between being with an ambitious man in being with a man that isn't trying or
Absolutely.
isn't working hard enough. So I'm not saying that I'm just walking away from a man because he's in a down and out spot. No, I'm not that girl. Will I cook? Will I clean? Sometimes. But I'm not doing it all the time. Not even as your wife, right? Because I'm not a stay-at-home girl. So I recognize that in myself. So even as a girlfriend, my man needs to also understand that. So my question would be, did they even sit down and really talk about their true roles of their relationship?
I think it's also interesting that, and what stood out to you was that the mama don't like, well, what stood out to me was that she said that she moved out of the house and the mom is taking care of him as she should. I don't know. This is just me. I feel like if I'm dating a man, I'm 37 years old, by the way. I'm dating a man and him and I break up, I would pray that he had at least set himself up for a couple, 2-3 steps before he moved his black ass in his mama house. Okay. For the mama had to come in and take care of you, I would pray that you had a community, a frat brother, a homeboy, a cousin, or something before your mama, the default was your mom. Like, I think I would lose a little bit of respect. Like, you couldn't come back up in this house, baby. After you then went back to your mama for her to take care of you, I think it would be hard for me to give my man after you haven't, like, I think about those things. Like, what tribe have you created? What network do you have? How far does that fishing pole go? Because it takes a village. You know, I'm living in this area pretty much by myself. I have one sibling. I just moved her out here. And honestly, I told her, I said, hey, I feel like I'm getting warm a little bit. But you need to come out here and help me take care of these kids. The kids is going to come because it's just, it's just me. So I always think about community, and I've always prayed, if there's any African men in here, like, I want a large family. I want a whole bunch of kids. Okay. And I hope that he has like a big family because mine is so small. So I also wonder, like, why didn't he have any other options before?
So
went to the mama.
That alludes to my point. He didn't have any community. Even as your girlfriend, even as your wife, I cannot be your be-all, end-all. Mm-hmm. I cannot take care of somebody else if it's draining me. Yes, it may be times in a relationship where you at 20%, and I'm going to cover that other 80%. Yeah. But if now I'm down at 20%, we two clowns. What we doing?
Yeah. But I saw something, I don't know if y'all seen this reel where, I think I talked about this on the last episode, where the couple said what they feel like has made them last so long is that every day they do a temp check. And it's like, hey, how much you got? And the wife be like, I'm on 60. He be like, bet, I got the 40, and there's times where you like, I'm on 20. And if they both are under 50%, they basically retreat so they're not blowing up on each other. They're not like aggravated and frustrated. Somebody has to have over 50%. And I feel like that's really cool. But I think as well, like, she's just a girlfriend. It shouldn't be that many hard things in a relationship before you actually have a commitment. And I think even like a passing of a parent is a big pillar.
That's what I wanted to touch on, grief. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. And I may be a softie in this area. I'm okay with that. It could also be me being a psychotherapist. Grief is complicated. Mm-hmm. It is extremely, extremely complicated. And I've seen families stay together because of grief, and I've seen families go apart because of grief. But we have to be mindful that you can stick with someone without feeling like you have to be everything for them, which means grief also has boundaries. Mm-hmm. Empathy also has boundaries. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. So she may have stuck around. She already know it's been too long. That's why she asking the question, first of all. She already knows.
Show her hands if you feel like his time is up. Anybody feel like he got a little bit more time? Let him work through the grief. Let him get another job. Okay. I know. We need to start zooming these people in because we be having follow-up questions. I'm like, first of all, girl, how old are you? Because 3 years if you 26 is one thing. 3 years if you 35 is another thing. It's like...
we also don't have enough information. Granted, I'm 40, so I'm also talking from a different perspective from when I was 30, when I was 25, right? I'm talking from a different perspective. But I also know that anytime that I really need to go ask somebody something, I know the answer. I just don't want to make the decision myself. I want to put it off on somebody. She already done moved out.
She sounded exhausted, didn't she? Did she sound exhausted?
She tired.
Yeah, she's tired.
She ready to go.
Okay, friend. A lot of our callers call back the next week with updates. So call us back, number one. Tell us how old you are. I think you already know. I think you've been going through a lot. I think personally, I would take this time to really see how he's gonna maneuver this time. Like how he's gonna step up, how he's gonna handle that. And I do know grief is tricky, but come about that mama house, stand on your own 2 feet, get you, something. Also, it's a lot of different jobs that you can do. And I had this experience where a man was a high performing professional, and he lost his job. And I'm like, Home Depot down the street, Uber Eats, DoorDash, there's a whole bunch of things. So I'm also like, okay, you went back to your mama house, but like, what are you going to do? Sometimes you gotta go low to really build yourself up. And I need a man that's gonna come in the jungle and come back with a fur coat. Like, what are you going to do in these kind of times? Because if we have a child and then we hit a natural disaster, a hurricane come, we lost all our stuff. You calling your mama for the diapers? Like, what can you do to really build yourself up? And I think a part of it is humility, a part of it is ego and pride. But I need a man to go step about me. Okay, like I need you to come back with something. She already moved out the house and now he's with his mom. So I think I would be looking for, like, I know this is a hard time, but like, what are you willing to do in the face of humility, even though it's below? Okay, hold on, Pop. Let me tell y'all the story about this Uber driver that I met. So I was in I was in a car with this Uber driver, and we just randomly was talking. He was from Nigeria, and he had been in this area for a while, and he was like, yeah, like, I lost my job. And I was like, oh, word. And so anyway, he ended up telling me this crazy story about what happened, and low-key he had a record, but the record wasn't his fault. I'll tell y'all that on another episode. Him having a record wasn't his fault. He invested money in his friend's business, and the friend wired the money back, but the root of that wire wasn't legit. And so when he went to the bank to cash the check, they was like, chink, clink, clink, you going to jail, because so that was the whole thing. It was legit money. Nonetheless, he was driving Uber. He had a Tesla. That man courted me better than a man with a job. He courted me better than a man with a job. And I feel like somebody was like, girl, you out here talking to an Uber driver? But one, he was very smart. He was just down in his luck. And he had very similar family values. And I just felt like it was a good time. And I think that there's a difference between that and a man that can live in between. Like, he was living in between and still sending money back to his mama. He was like, I'm doing this Uber stuff so that my mama don't have to work. I think she had some type of illness, but she was just going to the church to volunteer, just to do things here and there. But nonetheless, he was doing that to give money to his mom for play money. And I'm like, he's a smart man.
That's an ambitious man. That's exactly what I mean. So a lot of times when we'll say, I want this man to make X amount of money, right? I'm in a bracket when I've dated men that have made less money than me, but I can guarantee I never would have ever thought that the man had made less money than me. Sometimes, yes, money is a factor. I can't deal with somebody too low that don't have no money, because I did work my way up from the hood to be where I'm at. So you got to have that ambition. You got to have that hustle. But I also realize it is the character. A lot of women get with men that have money and they miserable. And then I know women that are with men that don't make that much, but guess what? They don't want or need for anything.
Don't you feel like the build a man up thing has a limit at 37? Baby, no, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like there's an age cap on how far I'm willing to go to build up.
Yes, right.
You should be there already a little bit.
To a certain extent, right? But let's look at today's climate. How many people got furloughed today? How many people are high functioning individuals, right? Even as an entrepreneur, yes, thank God that I'm good. But is my monthly income the same that it was last month? No, because the government is affecting a lot, right? So I think it's also important to know the climate that we live in, which is why I say to a certain extent, no, you do need to be in a certain bracket before I'm going to deal with you. But I have learned at my big age of 40 that I don't necessarily need you to make exactly what I make, because I have dated men who've made what I made and made more than what I made. And you know what they wanted me to do? Stop working. It's cute, right? They want to take care of me. It sounds good. But you want me to give up my empire that I work for so you can control me with your money, baby? It ain't me. Go find somebody else. Not doing it.
I don't know. I'd rather go up than down or
Character.
I'd
Like your
rather
Uber
go
driver, girl.
I'd
Character.
I'd rather go up. Okay, y'all. We on to voicemail number 2. Call us back, girl. Okay. It's entitled, Is It Too Early to Go All Out?
Hey Tisia, so my name is Brianna. Before I go into asking my question, I really wanted to give you your flowers and let you know just how impactful what you are doing in creating a platform where women can speak transparently about their experiences in dating, and the wisdom that you give us every single week is amazing. So I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend now for a month. We were dating very intentionally and, got together within like 3 weeks. And his birthday is coming up. And the lover girl in me wants to spoil him. I want to go all out. I want to get him that new 2K26 game and all this other stuff. But I don't know when is it appropriate to go all out, even if the guy is your boyfriend. What in your opinion would be the gauge of, gift giving? How much do you spend in a new relationship on somebody, especially with the holidays coming up too? Because I feel like I'm gonna run into this same thing when Christmas rolls around. So any advice would be helpful. And yeah, I love you, girl. Keep doing what you're doing.
I am the wrong person to ask, y'all.
Me too.
I am the king of a gift. Please come snatch me out these streets because this just happened. If anybody been following my love stories, it's this guy named, we call him Airport, from Atlanta. And when I met him in the airport, his birthday was a week or two. He's a Gemini. His birthday was a week before mine. And so our first date, I bought him a gift to the dinner. Mind you, his birthday had just passed. I don't know this man from Paint on the Wall. I met him in the airport. He finally came back and we had a date. And I wanted to get him a gift because I love giving gifts. But also, I need to set the tone for what for my birthday coming up. So I had to set the tone. Don't play with me, okay? But y'all, I love giving a gift. Oh my gosh, okay. But I have pulled back. In the past from what I used to be. Because I'm the type of woman, I know what you want to eat. I know what you want in your sandwich. I know what kind of drawers you wear. I know what your mama want for Christmas. I am that. I'm very intentional. So I feel sorry for you, girl. This is the struggle of my daily life. When to give a gift, when not to give a gift. Because I also can give gifts in vain, meaning some women give a gift to set the tone, I'm wifey material. I will give Joe Schmo on the street a gift, so it don't really mean the same to me, but I have had to pull myself out of being a gift giver to these men. I want to do everything. I think it's been a month. She said they got together after 3 months. I think something small and thoughtful.
It's his birthday, though.
She said 2K, NBA 2K, some game.
It's his birthday. See, here's the thing. I'm horrible, too, because I love to give gifts. And I don't play about my birthday, and I'm not playing about my man's birthday either.
It's been
right?
a month.
So I'm really the wrong person to ask because, again, you could be anybody. I love to give gifts, right? That is a love language for me. It's not necessarily how I want you to love me, but I love to give gifts. But also, I think I would take into account it's his birthday, right? Men already barely celebrate their birthdays. I think it's important. Especially if this is the man that I'm going to be with, he needs to know that birthdays are important, his and mine.
Okay, so the gift that I got the guy that I met at the airport, I ended up getting him cologne. Y'all know I'm a perfume girl. But I got him the cologne because the gift that I actually got him didn't come in the mail. So basically, he's a Knicks fan. He's from New York, but he lives in Atlanta. He's a Knicks fan. Nicole's from New York, too. But he had, I got him these coasters. So it basically has the 6 top plays, New York Knicks top plays of all time. And the coaster said see what I'm saying? I feel like that's something thoughtful. He's not going to forget that. He going to drink up off of them every day. That was something cute. I'm thinking of you. Mind you, this is our first day. I never met you, but I did want to set the tone. It was your birthday when I met you. And that cologne, he wears it every time I see him. I just saw him this past weekend and he brings a cologne every time.
But so how do we know that? I guess we need more information. What if her boyfriend's a gamer? This is what he likes and what's important to him.
I don't know. I would never suggest. Get him the game, not the console. How about that? Get him the game to go in there. Show of hands, ball out. Show of hands, reserve a little bit. Okay, ball out. She should get him a really good gift. My kind of good. Okay, a really good gift. Something small, something thoughtful. Okay, I think we got. Oh yeah.
Yes,
What would you appreciate?
Hold on real quick, bro.
We don't really mind, like we're not. Oh, get the mic. We're not big on gifts. Like we aren't. If you got us something small, something big, it's just a thought. We just honestly just exist. It's a thought. If you say, "Oh, I was gonna get it," and you forgot or whatever, but the key to it is when we ask, get, because we don't ask.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he ask for that game?
It could have came up in a conversation. Maybe he was like, you know what, babe, I really like
I think
this
something
game.
small, something thoughtful. Set the tone. Also, too, I think to his point, men don't. It's not a gift. Is not really the biggest thing, but I think that
Agreed.
they are. I think they think certain things about women that do too much. If that
So,
makes sense. I
I'm
think
in
she could
agreement.
take the tone the wrong way.
Yes.
If she did way too much, he'd probably be like, I think men may feel pressure if a woman is showing up and doing a whole lot. They may think like, oh yeah, she's trying to get me to wife her up. But I feel like I just made this real. Starve these men out. Give them a little drop, okay, and a little drop, and a little drop, just to kind of keep them going a little bit. They just need a little bit of gas in their tank.
So this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying she should lowball him, but maybe not completely ball out of control, because you do gotta have a limit, right?
Yeah.
Because I made that mistake early in my life, just being a gift giver, and I had it. I don't care. This man want this. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. 'Cause now,
I put so many men on. I was buying them black. I mean, just so many. Man, it's some men out here married wearing the stuff that I'm thinking about it. Okay.
take
Go
it
ahead,
back.
friend. What do you have? Do you have something to say? 1 second.
I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that the game is $60.
I think she was talking about the
No,
console.
NBA 2K26 about to
It's a
come out.
game.
They talking about
Oh,
the
it's a game. A game.
So
Okay.
If she get the game,
Okay. Yes, that's fair.
Don't get played. But like, I think that's a fine.
$60 gift is
because
fine. Yes.
The perfume you got him, that won't $60.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hey.
Exactly. So I think if she get the game and she dress it up, that's a fine first gift.
So the
I
confusion
agree.
was you was thinking console.
I thought we were
not-
talking about the actual game. Okay. No, $60 is cute. I think it's cute. Wrap it up, give him a card, get him, a lottery ticket, couple pairs of socks or something, something, I think that's cool. Okay, yes, okay. So we all on. What's our girl's name? What did she say? Hold on. Is her name on here? Okay, no, I thought her name was, Brianna. Brianna, get him something small and thoughtful. We have agreed to the game. Okay. We've agreed. Unanimous decision for the game. Okay. And I don't know when your birthday coming, but hopefully he's thoughtful. And the male in the audience also said, we don't really care about gifts, small. It's just the thought that counts. Dre, you're not a gift person either, right? Right.
Most men aren't.
I done met a couple gift men. We be competing. Anyways, okay.
I think a good gift is buying me something that I wouldn't have gotten for myself.
Okay, yeah. That's a good one. Okay, perfect. We're on to voicemail number 3. Friends for 20 years, but now it's messy.
Dear Tisia, first I want to say I love your show. I've been watching your show. I watch you on Facebook all the time. And I seen one of your segments talking about long-term friendships turning into romantic friendships. Well, I'm in that situation. And I have a friend who I've been friends with for over 20 years. He asked me if I wanted to be in an exclusive relationship with him. I told him no, because at this point I'm in my bachelorette stage. I'm dating and I'm living my best life. So he then had a barbecue with 2 of the girls who are in love with him. I did not know this. They met each other and he offered a polygamy relationship with them. So I guess they think that they are in a polygamy relationship with him. I did not know this, so he threatened to cut me off because I was mishandling him. So then I don't want to lose my friend, so what do you need from me? He asked for more energy of me and all these things. Now, mind you, he is a good man. Like, he is husband material. Like, you talk about short guys, he's a short guy. He's not a real tall man. He works hard. He has the savings, his credit score up to, he got all around good man. Takes care of his kids, got his own place. He's all around good man. Like, it's hard to find a man like that where I come from that's like him and my age. So then I find out about these girls. I continue a relationship with him, but then it becomes rocky because now I'm iffy. I really don't want to be in this, but at the same time, I don't want to lose my friend. So I continue to basically put a mask on and continue to deal with him. I then cut him off, and now we're not talking. We've been on the outs 5 months. He told me he'd never move in with a girlfriend, but let his ex-girlfriend move in, said that he was just helping her out, but she don't have an exit date. She's still there. She's been there 6 months now, and I can't deal with him anymore. I'm still in love with him, but I no longer seek a relationship with him. I once seen him as a husband, and I no longer see him, and I just don't know how to get back to the friendship because this is hard, and I've distanced myself, but he's a very supportive friend. He's more supportive than my own family. So what do I do?
Okay, so I'm going to read the recap because there was so many things that happened. Okay, so she said, after 2 decades of friendship, things got romantic with a close friend, but not for long. When she wasn't ready for a commitment, he turned to a polygamy setup with 2 other women, and things spiraled. Now, even though she no longer sees him as a partner, she's heartbroken about losing the friendship and torn about how or if they can go back to how things were.
Delulu.
This has so many layers. First of all, I feel like 20 years your friend and he pop out and he trying to take it up a notch. I'm like, I think this brings this whole conversation. Can men be friends with women? Can it be platonic? Because 20 years and then all of a sudden he wants to be with you. But then also, when she wasn't ready to commit, he said, it's cool. I got a couple more people
and then she wanted him.
I got a couple more people that's going to join us. That's kind of crazy.
They both playing games with each other.
I feel like he never was serious. But you know what the trick about it is? And I think when we talk about whether men and women can be friends, or if you start off as a friendship and then you get into something serious and that doesn't work out, does the friendship withhold? That is really the main thing about her, because she said now she's heartbroken about the friendship, and that's why you shouldn't be out here doing that with these people, because now you are worried about the friendship component of it. She didn't really seem bothered at all that it didn't work out romantically, but now she's worried more about the friendship, and I think that's the sticky part of it. Do you think you could be friends, date somebody, and go back to being friends?
No.
I think for 20 years you would try to figure it out.
But so this is.
She said he was closer than her family. Did you hear that part?
Right. So which they obviously were close friends. I have a male best friend. I know people don't like that. We've been best friends since we were 11. Right. So I'm always a little biased when it comes to, can men be friends with women? We are platonic friends.
Never dated, never kissed, never looked, never nothing.
Girl.
Okay.
So, and that has caused some issues when he has a girlfriend who feels like, for whatever reason, like, oh, y'all too close. I'm going to just go ahead and pull back, because I know at the end of the day, you're going to be my friend no matter what. Like, I want you to be in a happy, healthy relationship. So if me pulling back, not texting or calling as much as I normally would, I'm okay with that, because I want you to be in a happy, healthy relationship. Why I never dated him? Because I realized who he is as my friend is not who he is when he's in a romantic relationship, and I do not want to mix the two together, because I will probably hate him, and I value my relationship with him that much that I never want to cross that boundary. And he says the same thing. Although, yes, I may know him in different ways that his girlfriends may not. We were 12 when we became best friends, right? We're 40, about to be 41. But I also realized who he is as a friend is not who he is when he's in a romantic relationship. And I think that's where she messed up at. because he probably was a great friend to her. But the minute they started messing around, them feelings got intertwined. So she's going through a friendship heartbreak. And I don't care what nobody say. Those are probably worse than romantic heartbreaks.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna tell y'all this because I've seen this story so many times. If anybody knows, like I have a community of women, and in my group chat, my secret girls chat, join if you would like. The secret girl chat is a lot of women in there that have these men that have been around 5, 7, 10 years as a childhood friend. They talking to them and they're a friend, and then they come back around. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I've seen this story a million times. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Okay. I've played this game. And what happens is the guy thinks that he knows you already as a friend, and then he skips over all the courtship. Now all of a sudden he don't know what you want to fucking eat. He don't know what's your favorite color. You knew that shit when you was circling around here for 5, 7 years. Now all of a sudden you start dating me, and now you don't know nothing about me. Oh, I didn't know you would like for me to get you something for your birthday. I didn't know that you. It is a terrible mashup. When I see women that consider men that have been floating around in their life for that many years, as you said, they're a good friend and a terrible partner, and all of a sudden they have no incentive to really go all out and take you seriously romantically because they've been floating in your ether for too long. And so they have like this like literally they have no incentive to like up the ante. Like they're like, oh, you cool, you my homegirl, I know you, I know your family, I know your. So it's like, what is it that's gonna get them up and out to really try to win you over romantically? You get into the relationship with a childhood friend and you're so underwhelmed. It is so mediocre. I'm telling you, I've seen this story so many times. That's probably what happened to her.
Look, don't do it.
She got into a relationship with this man. She thought that he was good on the outside. I mean, he probably was just as a friend,
But
you know.
also, she pointed out that he's a good man. I want everybody in here, whether it's a man or a woman, to realize just because they are a good man or a good woman does not mean they are good for you.
For you or to you.
Let them go
and
be with who they need to be, a good man or woman too. Because if you hold on to them, you're selfish. I'm going to tell you, you're selfish.
Yeah, release them to the general public. Okay. How do you want a friendship while still protecting? You know, it didn't. What I gather is that they didn't date for that long. I think that they could really pull back into the friendship. 20 years and him being close enough, I think it can really be repaired. But I hope that she learned her lesson. That's a lot going on. Also, too, I always say this, y'all. How do these men be able to float around y'all for that long and then still have access to you? That's just me. To me, I feel like I'm fake offended that you've been around me for 20 years and you never thought to pull the trigger on me. It's like, am I your last leg, baby? Am I your backup plan? Am I like your last resort? You've been around me for 20 years, seeing me grow as a woman, and you just now saying, like, to me, I would just be like,
Maybe
I would be skeptical.
Maybe they just grew into their looks.
Maybe. Or they just both washed up and tired, and they just like, well, shit, you know, what you want to do this?
So why not?
Yes or no, baby? So, I don't know. I would be skeptical. Can't no man be around me for that long, and you just, you know. Anyways, okay, y'all. Mm-hmm. We off her. 20 years. I think that I could see why she heard about the friendship though, but I think she should give it a little room. She said they've been off for like 5 months. So 5 months they've been off. I think she could actually repair that friendship. She's gotta give him a little time. Also, please don't let no man trick y'all into polygamy. Okay? Please. That is a whole nother story that she skipped over.
Right.
Then he just said he's gonna bring more girls into it. Girl, he was playing with everybody's face.
He already had his plan. That's what that was.
Exactly. Voicemail number 4. I thought he was the one. Now I'm alone again. Girl, join the club. Join the club. We all thought he was the one. Look, I'm going through a breakup with a man that I wasn't even with, child. Okay, we all thought they was the one. Now I'm alone again. Okay, let's hear it.
Hi, Tisia. I'm in my late 20s. For my age, I've established a good amount in my life. During my teens and early 20s, I dated a guy for about 6 years. After the breakup, I got into school and started working on myself, but in the midst of that, I was dating one person. After school, I ended up moving to another state, and I don't know, I ended up meeting this guy. I did think that he was the one. I think I pushed too hard and went a little too fast because now I think we're done and it's only been 4 months. I found a girl's number in his phone. I called it. He broke my phone. He ended up fixing it the next day, but he went through my phone. He went through my phone and he found, I guess, like other guys that I was texting from back home, but nothing serious. I didn't have any intentions on doing anything with any of those guys, but the dynamic between us did change. I did try to rekindle things. I kept calling, texting, but I feel like it made things worse. Now I feel like I'm being forced back into solitude. Maybe it's God trying to, I don't know, like force me to work on myself again. But again, I'm in my late 20s and I just feel like at this time, like I did the career, like I have attainable goals now, like I want a family and I want to do it with the right person. So now I don't know what to really do. I feel like because I was in that relationship, I didn't really form like good female friendships. And that's probably what I need right now. Yeah, I don't know what to do anymore. I just need advice on, like, I guess, what to do next.
So I always say that just in terms of life, when you develop new skills and you have new tools in your toolkit to navigate life, you don't have to go back to the same construction site to fix those things. You take your tools and you go out about life and you become a different version of yourself. You evolve, you mature. And so I think I'm hoping now that she realized, like, I should have built better friendships. I should have been maybe a little bit more outgoing. I pray that she doesn't try to become this woman and then go back to him like, hey, I'm a new girl now. Do you think that this will work? Like, I think she has already ping pong back and forth between him. And I also, we're a little biased about your late 20s, baby. We're talking about late 30s and 40s. So I think you have a little bit more time, but this is a great place to be. I reinvent myself every 3 years. Every 3 years, I decide I don't want to be this person anymore. I want to be somebody else. It really just depends. I think everybody should reinvent themselves. Maybe not as frequently as me, but reinvent themselves. And it sounds like she's in a stage where she's in self-discovery, which is so important. I think for some women that looks scary. That's the best place to be to me. Like when you don't know who the fuck you are, when you don't know what's going on, when you don't know like what you want to do, if you want to move to a new city, that's a really good place to be. And most people are scared of that place.
But I think we can say that because at one point we was in that place, and when we on the other side, it's like, baby, I'm having a time, right?
Right.
So I think it's easier for us to say this, but I think a lot of people, she said she worked on herself, and then she found herself back in a similar situation. A lot of times people, you don't realize you have grown until you place back in some of those same exact situations. And if you responded the same, baby, you didn't grow. You didn't work on yourself enough.
Absolutely. You got to get off that couch. And that's, I think, as a coach, I could have went the therapist route, but as a coach, I think it's a lot more practice. And what happens is that, well, people don't understand, you have to flex that muscle so many times. And I say this, people go to therapy to basically prevent themselves from being in the same situation that they were in or something like that. But really, you need to be going to therapy so when you get your ass in that situation, you know not to smack that girl across her face or break that man's phone or slash his tires or put your hands on somebody. Like, that's what you need. That's when therapy comes into place, when you actually are in a situation. And I think that people think that therapy is going to keep them out of the situation. Therapy gives you the tools that you need so when that situation comes again, because it will come back around, that you actually have self-control, that you actually can count to 10 or reminisce and figure out like, how should I handle this situation, and tap into that more evolved version of yourself. So those situations are going to come back around, but the going through the phones and the breaking the phone, y'all think I'm crazy, but when I tell y'all, I do not play about the tiny microaggressions of men. If you raise your voice, if you are cursing at me, baby, I'm out of there, gone. I do not play about stuff like that. If you break my phone, I don't know, some people think that's sexy. Some people think, oh, he cared about me. He was so good. Baby, I'm out of there. I do not play about those tiny little small. I don't think that's tiny, but
I don't think it's tiny at all. You break a phone, the next might be my face.
Exactly.
You got to go.
And that's how it starts. But I don't like the yelling, the screaming, the going through people's phones. How you feel about going through phones?
Younger me did it. Older me, I don't want to know. I don't care. What's meant for me to know is meant for me to know. At this point, I don't care. I'm too caught up with myself and what I have going on. Now, if I get the feeling or the urge to feel like I need to go through your phone, then I probably shouldn't be with you if I can't sit down and talk about that with you. If that urge comes, I'm saying something to you, but I'm not going through. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not going to say I ain't never did it. Oh, I done did it. I done copy phone numbers down. I done set up and called each and every girl to figure out when you met them, how you met them, when the next time. Matter of fact, plan a date so I can make sure that I show up with you, right? Like, I've been there. I'm not going to act like that wasn't me. I used to wild out, right? I done put bricks through windshields and all of that stuff. Now, baby, I'm not thinking about it. If I get that urge to go to your phone, I'm having a conversation with you. And if I don't like the way that conversation has gone, I'm gone.
So
because I don't want to lose who I am because I'm too worried about what you got going on. That means you have disrupted my peacefulness, and I don't need it.
That sounds very healthy. Well, are you going to ask to see the phone? Because where's Stacy at? Some few girls here from our girls chat. Hey, Stacy. We had a girl on our Zoom call for office hours, and child, her husband was operating like a single man. He was talking about he had bowling. He was going bowling late at night. She got up and said she wanted to go to church with him. He was like, nah, ain't nobody to watch the kids' church is closed. I said, bitch, get your ass, go to that bowling alley, go to that church, okay? He probably walking around here with somebody auntie. Get your butt and ask, like, you need to see that phone. I felt like he was doing something. And so I feel like there are times, like, I am definitely team don't go through the phone, but I think there needs to be a certain point where it's like, you gotta let me see it. If you're not doing nothing, let me see.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have a conversation, but I because I know where I have grown from, and somebody that had a record, I don't need to go back there, right? This is where you have to know yourself, right? You have to know what you can deal with and what you just don't want to deal with no more. Because then, yes, every bit of New York is going to come out of me, right? Like every bit of it.
And in Chicago, and me gonna be right there with you. So sometimes you gotta go through.
I can't do it. But if I'm like, yo, what's good? What's going on? Like, talk to me. Let me know something. And I can honestly say, even now the guy that I talk to, he don't have no problem if I feel like
that's what I'm saying. But if he's not doing nothing, it should be.
It's not a problem.
It should be. Show me that you ain't doing nothing. I don't know, y'all. I ain't that far from the cross, clearly. Because I feel like you should validate that. If I get to a point, I'm such a chill person. If I get to a point and you like, man, what you talking about? That's the girl I work with. Okay.
Right. And then a man who's not doing nothing is not going to have a problem with showing you that, because as your girl, you know I need some reassurance here and there, and you do that for me, that'll be the end of that conversation for me. Appreciate it, babe. Thank you for reassuring me.
Absolutely.
But you don't want to show me? I'm gone, because I know what I'm capable of doing.
God ain't through with me yet. So to our good sis, you're in your late 20s. I know we seem a little biased, but this is because we've been on the other side of that. But I will say, take advantage of these years. I get so many younger women that write me and they're like, Tisia, what's your advice? Do not give your 20s to these men in relationships. Y'all done spent 5-7 years. Listen, a man in your 20s, you get 1 to 2 years in your 20s to be in a relationship. And then, I know it sounds crazy, move on and try somebody else. You've been with this man between 22 and 27. That is crazy. That's crazy. Like, do not spend your 20s with these men in relationships. Explore, build your network, go out with your girls. Love during that time is good, but don't spend it waiting for that's not your last stop. Trust me. Right. And if it is, congratulations, but I'm sure that it's not. I think she has a lot of developing to do, and this is a good time. Like, don't be scared of this time, because she's basically saying, like, I don't know what to do. I feel alone again. Girl, this is the time that you're going to be, these are going to be your best years coming out after this.
If you think about it, right, you know, and I'm around a lot of people who have been married for a lot of years, and they all would tell me the same things. They are in happy marriages, and they say, you know what, I wish I would have did it differently, kind of how you are doing it. And what I do find is when I'm dealing with individuals who have been in those relationships from when they were 20, 21, a lot of them, and got married, got the ring, did all those things. And now that they're in their early 40s or late 40s, they are all getting divorced because it's like, I want to live my life and be who I am. The problem is that I do find men fall in love with women for the woman that they currently are, and women fall in love with men for the potential. The potential that they have. And then that man may not meet that potential, but that woman changes. It's hard to work through that. Live your best life as long as you can and make the space and make the room for when you do get older. You can have a time and be in a happy, healthy relationship because your first happy, healthy relationship is with yourself.
And I think, too, it's really time to take that myth away that, y'all, the women that waited, because, they're like, oh, you 37, you ain't got no kids. Baby, I have a 85 to 90% better chance of my shit working out than you did when you got married at 22, okay? So we need to wash that out. Women that wait to get married have longer marriages, have healthier marriages.
Yep.
Okay. Even we talk about women that have kids later on in life. That's a whole thing.
Yep.
This is something that I feel like women in general, because it's still a whole, like she said, I'm in my late 20s, I don't know what to do. And it's not just me being biased, but it's like, girl, it's a whole bunch of more stuff that's happening, a whole bunch of more things that's coming down the road. And it's not to dismiss like where you are in your stage now, but these like, I don't know who I am moments, baby, this is time to get in your bag. This is like such a good time for you in your 20s. Like I was a dog in my 20s. I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be valedictorian, I'm gonna go get a job. I got my master's early. Like this is really like prime time. So take this time. Don't feel bad about it. I think reinventing yourself is good. It sounds like you're doing the work. So I think that's good.
She's
Good for her.
transitioning.
She's
where she needs to be. Recognizing how she feels and then working on it.
Absolutely. Write us back, girl, in a couple of months. Okay. So our red flag report, y'all. This is the one we looked up upstairs. Is driving a Mercedes feminine. Y'all saw that? Y'all saw that? Did y'all see that clip? Now, okay, let me talk about it. Okay, so TikTok creator Hennessy something stirred up a lot of debate with her viral post about men, masculinity, and their choice of car, specifically the Mercedes-Benz. In her video, she confidently claims a man in a Mercedes is not a man. That is a bad bitch. She goes on to say, a man pulling up in a Mercedes is a bad bitch waiting for you to hold his purse. It's just feminine. It's just a feminine car. When you look at it, it looks feminine. A BMW, masculine. Audi, masculine. A Toyota is gender neutral. But a Mercedes, a Mercedes, babe, get out. If you're a man, get out. If your interest in a man fades the second he pulls up in the wrong car, is that about your standards or a red flag in how you define masculinity and worth? Okay. Now, I do think that there are cars that lean more masculine and more feminine. If I dated a man I have before that is driving a Mercedes, fine. The car is fine. But I do think that there are more masculine options out there. Also, baby, is this that CLA, that 300, that baby shower car, that baby mama car that you be getting into that little 300, or are you talking about a G-Wagon? That's two different Mercedes, right? But, or what's it, the GLC? Like, I think it can get more masculine, right? Is he driving a baby mama CLA little 300, or he got him a sedan or anyways. This is what I will say. I think that as women, we're really starting to see the tides turn, and we have to be really a little bit more careful because they sick of us, y'all. The men are sick of us. Every day we are adding something to the list that is feminine, that's gay, and it's like, y'all, we really have to really pull this shit back, especially if you are looking for a husband, you're looking for somebody to feel safe with you, you're looking for somebody to open up, to share their emotions. It's like everything they do, you seen the Pop the Balloon show, the girl was like, oh, his pants hitting his ankles. I don't know, they look like his butt. It's like, y'all, we have to pull this back. Like, these men are sick of us. It's every other day is something that we add to the list, and I think it really boils down to, because if I'm looking around, majority of us are black or brown, right? And I think that our ideas of masculinity has not been the healthiest, and we have a whole bunch of tropes about that dating back to baby before slavery, right? We have a whole bunch of tropes about that, but I think that we have to really get on the same page, because I think that the men are looking for the safe space and the women are like, you doing that, you doing this, like I don't know. And so I think that we need to meet in the middle, because we are now being more masculine and the men are like, you bitches don't cook, y'all don't clean, y'all don't do nothing no more. And then we're asking them to open up and be more, open about their emotions and be a softer place to land.
You want a safe space for them, but at the same time telling them they're too feminine. I think even on Twitter, I think they added that as number like 1,143 of things that men make them feminine, right?
I saw that,
So I think we have to be very, very cautious. It is perfectly fine to have standards, right? I don't think it's anything wrong with it, but you also have to look at, one, how are you living? What are you driving, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I get bothered by that sometimes. Whether it's a man or a woman, I want somebody that has da-da-da. Girl, you don't even have that.
No, I'm on the wrong side of that thing.
I know you are.
I'm on the opposite side.
I like to start trouble, so, but we have to
I don't have to have a man don't care what I got, but I kind of care what you got. I mean, I got what you got too, though, but you shouldn't care about what I got, but I can care about what you got. Because women are looking for men with resources, right? That's just in general. We're looking for somebody to provide, protect, and also...
But providing is more than your finances.
No, I get that. But only reason why I mentioned that before the house blow up, y'all, the only reason why I mentioned that is because it's like, okay, well, what do you got? And my thing is like, I want to date up in a way. So like, I don't feel like I don't feel like it's wrong for me to desire a man that's at a different level or a status when I don't have those. I actually think it's very masculine for a woman to be like, oh, I got this car, you got that car. I got a Rolex, you got a Rolex. I got this, you got that. Like, to me, it's like, I'm just the girl in the world with the squirrels, baby. I like, what you want me to do?
I want my man to buy my Rolex. Can I buy it myself? Sure, but I want my man to buy it for me.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anyways, we digress. Show of hands. It's a Mercedes feminine. We got a good crowd today. We got a healthy, good crowd.
Only one. Just one.
Okay. Anybody care about the car that their partner or any potential suitor drives? Do you care about the vehicle? Okay, go ahead. Let me see. Jerry, can we get her? What do you think? I care about that dash is lit. Ain't nothing more annoying than a man. Boy, go get an oil change and put some air in that tire. Why is your dash lit up like a damn Christmas tree?
Exactly.
That is so irritating.
No,
sorry, go ahead.
I definitely agree about the dash, but a man driving a Bug to me.
A what?
A VW Bug. That.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a Kia Soul.
Yeah.
I don't want you driving a Kia Soul.
Like, now if that. But a Mercedes.
Anybody else care about the car?
To a certain extent.
What kind of degree?
Hold on. Vehicle. I mean, something halfway decent. Oh. No, something a little halfway decent. Nothing with the muffler hanging or anything like that.
Okay.
And then the VW thing, that's his girlfriend's car. And that's that. Just something, decent, semi-decent. For the most part.
Okay, so up and run doesn't matter the brand or anything. Just something that you wouldn't be embarrassed to. Yes, presentable.
Everything's intact, no oil leaking, things like that. Decent. Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all. When I got a new car, I started caring about the car. Now I got a car. Maybe 3-4 years ago, I got a new car. I used to be flexible. Then I got a new car, and I'm like, I have to be honest. I really did start caring. After I upgraded, something changed in me. When you get in that car with that peanut butter seats and, you just feel different. And I think that I started thinking of other people's vehicle different. And I didn't expect this change, y'all. That wasn't my intention. I never expected this change. But I'm trying to tell you, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what it's like. And then I started to think more about the men's vehicles.
See, I was the opposite. I lived in Hawaii sometime for 9 years, but I was in the military, so I had met people from all around the world. I dated this guy. He was from the South. And I hated when he pulled up. Everybody else thought it was nice, but I hated to see a Chevy with the rims. I don't like that. You know, I was used to them being a maximum with rims and all that stuff. So I was just like, don't come pick me up in that car.
So it was a little too hood.
Country. It was country to me is what it was. It was too country for me.
Yeah.
And so I realized it's because of where I was from and what I was used to seeing. To this day, now I'm like, oh, it's nice. Don't pick me up in it, though.
Yeah, I can.
So I'm a bias a little bit, but to say, do I care about the car? I don't know, because I know men that have very nice cars, but they gonna drive that beater car to the death of them, and I'm okay with that. So it just, I might meet you in your 2002 Honda, but you really got a G-Wagon sitting at the crib. And if I just judge you by your 2002 Honda and didn't give you time to get to know you, I would never know you had a G-Wagon sitting in the crib.
Uber Black XL. if you only got the beater, okay? If we go out, Uber Black XL. Thanks. Okay. All right, this is our last red flag report. Marriage helps men the most, so why are they avoiding it? What happened? Okay, so the red flag report, we'll talk about it, but it says marriage helps men the most, so why are they avoiding it? So on a recent episode of the Good Hanging podcast, actress Regina Hall joined Amy Poehler, spelling or pronunciation, for a candid conversation about life, love, and marriage. At one point, they dove into the question, why do men avoid marriage when they're the ones who benefit most from it? Regina noted that 86% of the most successful men are married, and referenced studies showing that men often name their wives as their best friends, something women usually say about their girlfriends. Amy echoed the idea that men seem to get more emotional grounding, health support, and longevity from a marriage than women do. So here's the thing. The marriage benefit is a real thing. Men that are married have less rates of suicide. They get into less car accidents. They have better health. This goes on. They have better networking. It goes on and on and on and on. Mm-hmm. They even say that the best thing a man can do is to get married, and the worst thing that a woman can do is get married, because she is pouring all of herself into him, and so he's getting the benefit, and then the woman is depleting.
Which is why men tend to live longer when they're married. Absolutely. And women tend not to.
So why are they avoiding it? Because they don't know. Why are they avoiding it? Any married man or single man over the age of 30 in here, why are y'all avoiding marriage?
Speak up. This y'all time. We trying to find out.
Why are y'all avoiding marriage?
I'll give you the mic, right?
Oh, Cornelius. Hi. That's my boy. I love you, Cornelius.
I would say we avoid marriage because we probably get with the wrong women that are just takers and not givers. And we tend to give because men are givers. We have to be givers. We have to be providers. Men are supposed to, as y'all been talking on the podcast, right? Hold on. As y'all been talking on the podcast, right? Y'all talking about men providing, men having this, men having that. So men, we have to be givers constantly. Okay. If we never receive, then we just come up empty after a while. And now we feel like, okay, this benefits you more than it benefits me. Why am I even doing this? So like I said, it's the women you picking, obviously, I get that too. But what I'm saying is, me and my friends, we avoid marriage in a certain degree because we come to find out, we come into contact with women that are just takers and not givers.
So you feel like marriage gonna bankrupt you?
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow. That goes against...
Might want to change where they finding these women at.
Wow. Okay. I know some married bankrupt men, but go ahead.
He's actually right about the end part. what most of us men see from younger men to older men, and we have conversations because after a certain age, you work with older men and you're around older men, and you always hear the end of the marriage. And it's a miserable thing to hear, to watch, to see, to watch a man lose everything.
Y'all scared straight.
Fair.
I mean, is that a bad thing?
No, that's what
Right.
you're scared
Okay,
straight.
yes, yes.
You've heard such bad stories.
So we see such bad stories too. So, you know, you watch a man going from the G-Wagon to the 92 Civic because, you know, his ex-wife is living in a nice house with her new boyfriend. That's scarring to see, you know, when you watch it. So, go ahead.
Let you finish.
Most men are afraid of that, and most boys growing to men are afraid of that. It's just a reality. We think very logical. Like, that's how we think. We don't think, you know, when it comes to finances at the end, marriage is beautiful while it's happening. But at the end, it's the post-credit where it's not a good thing for men. You know, I've seen men lose their pensions that they've worked their life for, and they're giving them up. Just, you know. So I'm just talking about the reality of it. So that's it.
So I have a question. No, I want you to keep the mic. I have a question. So you're saying you're talking to men and you're realizing that at the end, realistically, they are becoming bankrupt. Do you ever ask them the true reason of why their marriage ended? Was it infidelity? Was it we just grew apart? Like, what often is the true reason behind it? Now, I'm not saying women are innocent because I have seen some women bankrupt men. So I do understand where you're coming from, but I also know more often than not, it's a lot of things that have taken place in the beginning and in the middle, and by the time it gets towards the end, the woman is fed up because of everything she's poured in. So she's been hurting from the beginning of the time to the middle of the time, and now she's free at the end, and now you're just now becoming bankrupt when she's been bankrupt from the beginning to the middle, and now she's free at the end.
So we're talking about, I get what you're saying, but let's not go with infidelity. When it comes to infidelity, she just mentioned infidelity.
I said
no. You said abortion,
things.
so I didn't get to finish what I was saying. So when it comes to infidelity, I feel a man should pay. Right? When it comes to infidelity, if he's got caught doing things, he should pay. But if somebody wakes up the next morning and says, "Hey, you know what? I don't feel like this," I feel you should leave with what you came in with. You know, I think that's how it should go. Not you should leave with much more than you came in with, to the point that I don't have enough to survive.
But you may have bought the house, but I made it a home. We wouldn't have tissue, paper towels, cleaning supplies. We wouldn't have, let's just be honest. Like, there was
Watching
a thread on Twitter.
But we pouring into that family. You don't know when a soccer game is. You don't know what's on the calendar. You don't know if your baby in karate or ballet.
Agree. So you don't think it's fair that you poured in, I bought it, and I poured in a portion, that we should split it 50-50 down the line when it's all said and done?
I'm not saying that the woman or the man should take each other for everything, but I do believe, like, split it in equal parts.
Oh, that's what I said. That's all I'm talking about. When I started, I said the man has to give the woman everything at the end.
But you said what you came into this with is what you should leave with. So that's what I'm saying. It should be equal parts.
If there was no investment. So if you came into something, right, and you poured into it, and you made it a home, and everything became even, right? She came in making 30, he was in at 80, and she's up at 80 now. Okay, you invested in it, we see the numbers, let's split it in half. But if you came in at 30 and stayed at 30, why should I have to give you pretty much all of what I've been upholding? And I'm going based off things I've seen.
Okay.
I think because the things that you are describing that are overarching what a woman will bring to a marriage aren't tangible. It's not something you can monetize, right? And that's kind of what Nicole was describing. And so it's like, no matter what, you may say like, oh yeah, well, I came in at 30, you came in at 80, but like, you're in 80 now because of my 30, right? The way I pour, and I'm not saying every man has experienced that, but the way that I pour into you, the way that I uplift you, the way that I have your backside and your peripheral, right? The way that I'm your rib, the way that I have discernment, the way that I'm able to protect you, our family, like that ain't got a dollar amount. So you may think you came out with 80, but the reason why you got the 80 was because I made the house a home. And so I can see why a woman coming into a marriage, even if she came in at a lower amount, could take a little of those coins on the way out. Now, I don't think it should be a washout or a bankrupt, but I don't think that the wife part of it and how a woman in the best scenario has made a home, those things are not able. It's not even an amount on it. Like a lot of y'all, you hear, we just saw this with Ashanti and Nelly. He said, I ain't waking up until the child 2 years old when he walking around and he a toddler. And it's like, I'm the one getting up in the middle of the night. I'm the one planning these things. I'm the one look for a school for the kid to go to. I'm the one making sure it's private or Montessori. I filled out them applications and went and sat in the meetings so those things don't have a dollar amount. Yes. Sorry. So give me that money. Give me that money on my way. I'm just joking. Okay, y'all. That was good.
That was good.
We're wrapping this up.
I want to add something to help your topic.
Okay, hold on. So what's so funny? Dre, she's asking for the perfume sack. So the funniest thing, we cut it out because we thought that it wouldn't really go live. I know. Next time we know. And I have my vow too, but next time we know. Thank you for bringing that up. But we cut that little part out because we felt like it may not have incorporated as well being live, but I won't miss it the next time, friend. Pinky promise. Okay, yes, Dre.
You asked for a married man opinion too. So
Yes.
Some feedback on it. So the question is, why do men avoid marriage when they're the ones who benefit from it the most? And we look at that list that we had talked about: longevity, married men live longer; mental health, marriage often improves men's well-being that comes from women; health habits, women and wives often drive their husbands to doctor visits; they eat better; they reduce risky behavior; and social support. But what's one thing that's missing from that list? Nope. It's something that everybody talked about: money. And that's the one thing that men feel like they have to accumulate in order to get a woman. But you can accumulate that a lot easier on your own than being with somebody. Like even me, with the job I have, there's certain events I can't go to. I got to miss because I got my wife back home. I can't attend that. I can't be out till 2 a.m. I can't network in the strip club because I'm in media. So my, star can't rise as quickly because I'm married, and I will trade that all in because I love my wife, and my wife has added so much to my life. But I do think there are a lot of single men who are looking, not necessarily avoiding marriage, but trying to prepare for it and gaining assets, and they're waiting to try to make more money, and that's why they're staying single versus trying to get in a relationship.
Interesting, Dre. I think that's interesting because I personally feel like, and I don't know, I'm a little biased. I feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of good women, and I've seen a lot of things. And and it may not be literal, but when you say things like you're describing like you're not able to reach your peak or get into your like events that you're missing and things like that because you have a wife at home. And I know his wife very well. She's a very good friend of mine. I feel as though like that is adding on, that's an underlining undertone of the way that you're able to be. Like, I feel like you able to get up and get it more and even have more, am I wrong, like more motivation, more just interpersonal skills, all because you have a wife. And you've described like, y'all's dynamic and like, I'm able to do these things because my wife is handling these things at home. And I feel like even though a man is waiting to build wealth and make a lot of money to have a woman, it's that right woman in that space that's really going to aid the type of man that you're gonna be when you wake up in the morning, right? And again, I feel like those things aren't tangible and aren't monetized or talked about, but I feel like that right woman, a good woman, a woman like me, Tisia Sappho, okay, it's that woman. You're gonna be like, you want to get up and go get it more. You want to like you're a different kind of man when you walk out of my house.
They help you make more. Like I was in a relationship. He made less than me, but by the time and we're good friends, he makes way more than me now. And to this day, he will tell you, I make the money that I make because she was my girlfriend at the time. Because we do also help you become and find different avenues. No, you may not be able to go to the strip club and do your media here, but it's like, all right, I realize my man can't go to the strip club and do this because I don't want him to, and he's not doing it because I don't want him to. So let me find another avenue. Let me help him out in that sense. So I think you can make up for that, but I also find a lot of men stay single because they want to make a certain amount to attain a certain woman, but then turn around and complain that this woman only wants me for my money.
No, I agree with you because that's exactly, Tisia knows that's my story. Like, I met my wife and I credit her with where I am today. That's why I retired her from what she's doing and she can do whatever she wants. But I don't know if a lot of single men see that the same way, right? They look and see. And I do think that I could have probably done a lot more maybe with the freedom to move and do things and go to events and stuff like that. But I think that that's what it probably boils down to when it comes to this, is that it's the money. Like, that's why they're waiting a little bit to, you know, pursue marriage.
Yes, Tara. Yeah. We're coming back to you, Tara.
I was just going to say, especially in this area where Black women tend to make a certain amount of money and have a certain lifestyle and probably have the life that they already want. My experience, I'm hearing from men in dating, is that they're intimidated by that. So they feel like they have to get to a certain very high level in order to be even looked at by a woman in the DMV. And that's another challenge.
So my answer goes along with yours, with his, with everybody's. It's ego. The main reason why men, especially like you said in this area, are avoiding marriage is because, one, they feel like they need to have or make a certain amount, especially because, look at us, well taken care of, smell like shea butter, like they don't get that. And then when they do get into those relationships, they're taking the stuff, they're learning the stuff, they're growing. So then it becomes another sense of ego where they reach a point where it's like, okay, I grew with you, that was cool. Now, you over here, what's up? So then they're at a point where it's like, all right, well, now that I done made it here and I'm not really tied to nothing, I can kind of meander around and see what really works, despite the fact that you've actually been able to accumulate or to grow or whatever the fact may be, based off of the fact that you were working side by side with a partner that was able to help elevate you. Like you said, give me a house, I'll give you a home. Give me semen, I'll give you a baby. You know, like you give me the food and I'll give you a meal. Give me whatever and I'm gonna make it better. But you gotta strip your ego in order for me to be able to do that. So, okay.
Can we do Tara right here? Tara, just get Tara for 1 second. Thank you. She had gotten skipped over. Yes.
Hey, so if it starts at the home, and I feel like more mothers need to be held responsible for who their sons are as men. And a lot of times
we need another episode for that.
In the Black community, for instance, my son, he has a girlfriend. He's 14. This girl bakes cookies, makes $200 at school. He's bragging on her. Mom, such and such made $200 a day at school. He don't have a dollar to his name. I'm like, sir, so you need to step your game up. She's making $200 in a day at school. How do you plan on supporting this girl that you like? He said, well, I buy cookies. Now, I know he don't have no money because he asked me for everything. So I said, well, how are you buying cookies? You only got $1. Her cookies are $2. He's like, well, she gives me a discount. I said, oh, for $2? You are a burden, sir. You need to step it up. She giving you a 50% discount on $2? You're going to lose your girl. I'm sorry. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, so mom, I mean, what do you mean? What can I do to support her? I said, let's look at Amazon. What's her favorite color? Her favorite color is purple. Homecoming's coming up. She's the cheer captain. I'm not trying to have my baby embarrassed, and I'm not trying to embarrass myself. She come from a 2-parent household. She want to fall asleep on the phone with him. She's all googly eyed because he's an athlete and he's attractive and he's broke. I'm like, I wouldn't want to hear you breathe at night. She's falling asleep with you on the phone. we got to get you together before her father finds out, because they're not going to like you. Her mom's not going to like you, and we can't have that. So let's put together a gift. Let's get her an Amazon gift card. Let's get her a specialized apron. He like, Mom, that's a good idea. He's sending links to baking stuff. I got to buy it. But at least it's setting the tone. Now he has to get a job. Yeah. Now, this is a $200 a day girly. She's a scholar. She's a brown-skinned chocolate cheerleader girly. Man, you're going to lose her in 90 days if you don't get your life together. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And his dad and I had that conflict because he feels like he's young. Let him go through this. No, because he's going to grow up as a man. He's going to be bragging on the fact that his girl makes 6 figures. He's going to be making under that. He's going to feel emasculated because she makes more than him, even though she loves him. And it's going to be a perpetual cycle that could be broken in the home. And that's where the ego is built. It's built in the home with our Black boys. And now we on struggle time as women, because a lot of women, because I'm also in the mental health field and I work with parents of Gen Z, raise their sons in the image of the man that they've never experienced. So they're raising that man for them. So they're like, oh, you're such a good son. And this man may go to the end of the world for his mother. You created a good son, a good man for you. He's not a good man in society. He's not a good man to any woman that he dates. And that's the confusion, and you don't care because you're selfish, because you've never experienced that type of unconditional love. And you like the fact that your son will do anything in the world for you. And I just feel like that's where the realization has to come to break the cycle.
And I hear you on that. That was really good. Pass the collection page. That's really good. But I think that, and it's a little bit to your point, is that the men are watching men have these terrible marriages. How much more powerful would it be for his father to come up in that house and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. They're looking. He's a father of 2. Hold on, y'all. Let our brother speak.
Well, hold on. First, finish your thought.
Yes, I was just going to say, and this is just baseline. No bells and whistles included in context of everything, right? But I think there's a difference from, and we have a lot of mothers in this room, but just the burden of even being responsible for how your son as a male is going to enter this space. And I think that it's a totally different message when a man is coming in and he's like, hey, you can't be out here getting a discount on your girlfriend cookies at school, right? I get that, but I think that too, and what reminded me to say that was that, you know, the gentleman here was saying that men are seeing other men get divorced, getting wiped out of all. So that just is a baseline that they're watching and they're learning from other men. And that could go left or right. But I think it sends a totally different message when a man is stepping up and saying, hey, and I've seen men raised by men, and I've seen men raised by women. And honestly, all of us, half of us, and 90% of us are experiencing the men that were raised by women. And you don't find out the isms of that until you get into it with them. Just this weekend, talking to a guy on a date, and he was like, I feel like I'm giving you a 10. And I'm like, I don't even recognize this behavior. Like, it's not even on my radar. Like, to me, this is such an underperformance. And he was like, well, I didn't grow up in a household where my mom told me I love me. And I'm like, aha, you are expecting me to read behavior. He's like, I know my mom loved me. And it's like, you expect me to know you like me, nigga, and I don't. I don't know that you like me. And so you will see those things come up from the household that they were raised in. And I think that just a male presence in general, right? A male presence in general, and us taking the burden off of women and walking them through a couple of other things, I think they'll walk out the house a different teenager, a different man. And then when they circle around in our ether, we are adult women experiencing them, we will see a lot differently as well, you know? So hopefully, maybe I'll get on something. Maybe I've been fighting for 14 years, child, but hopefully y'all can get on somewhat of the same page.
So I'm going to say to the lady back there that said, a lot of men are afraid of women because women nowadays are high earners. That is 100% true. It's 100% true. And congratulations to the women that are high earners. No, seriously, I'm not even being funny. I respect what you guys and how you guys do it. But there's something key that you say is 90% of men would pray for a child's mother or a wife like you who is hard on the boy. The boy in the household is, by the father, is told to, we have to back off of the boy, but be stern with the girl. And when fathers go to discipline the boy, he's only A. He's only A. Most boys in other cultures, they're taught from young to be men. And what has been taken out of America and society is the farm father. The father that comes in a room, wakes you up and tells you, this is what has to be done before you go to school. This is what you have to do on the weekends. This is what you should be looking forward to. We're not allowed to do that because, he's just a boy. He's just a boy. And that is where the household kind of breaks also, The household kind of breaks because you're trying to do the right thing for the boy and you're being told no. Okay, then the man just says, you know what? Okay, you guys have it. That's your husband now. I'm going to go. And there is a lot of women that we had the conversation with. They are grooming their boys to be their husbands in the future, which is very weird, but it's happening. And it's sad. You look at it, a lot of the men you have now are ruined by, no disrespect to mothers, but those kind of mothers.
They have mommy issues. You can say it. They have mommy issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
But I also want us to keep in mind, and obviously this is my clinical hat, right? It's part of who I am. You can raise a child, girl or boy, to do all of these things. And when they get out in the world, they still develop their own personalities, and they still may not be who we expect them to be at a certain age, and may not get it until years and years later. All of us sitting in here, our parents have told us all of some of these same things, and we didn't listen. And now when we're sitting at that age that our parents told us, like, dang, I finally get it, right? So, one, I want parents not to be too hard on themselves, right? Yes, we do need to instill these things, but also realize that your children, they're not possessions. They are people. They have their own personalities. They still are going to go out in the world and do what they want to do. And they may do the complete opposite just because you told them to do the other thing, right? So they may not get it to a later point. So we can sit here and say, this is why girls are this way, or this is why boys are that way. But the reality is, if we teach them to be good, kind human beings to themselves first, they can have that expectation of other people. I told you my clinical hat was coming on.
Well, y'all, that was our first live episode of Dear Tisia. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank you again to the Gathering Spot for hosting us. We'll be back. Don't know when, but we will. Hopefully in the next month or two. I like this setup. This was fun. I'll be hanging around, floating around if y'all have questions or, want to say hi. Again, thank y'all so much for coming out. I never take this for granted. Subscribe to Tisia XVS. Follow on Apple and Spotify. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all. Bye.